Yeah, let's get back into these reactions. Part 2 of 21st Century Breakdown by Green Day. First half of the album's fantastic, and I cannot wait to dive into the second part. It's the military theme of war and being a soldier, and battle in general, and using that within the different the songs. Each song is slightly different, and there hasn't been one skip song yet throughout the whole album, which is impressive. They seem to have followed up American Idiot with another really, really good album. But there's only one way to find out, though. We'll have to keep listening because it's only the first half. Let's go. The last of the American Girls. I like that bass. That bass is cool. I love the she followed by a description. Yep. That's 10. That's 10 for 10. Like it's I mean that song. It just doesn't necessarily blow you away, but there's enough in there that really that justifies its place on the album. And I love his lyric style there. Well, you should basically just go, and she's got this. For someone who does, I do write music and lyrics, and it's like sometimes just pointing things out and being descriptive of like someone or something can really paint a picture in like a listener's mind. And when you hear him describing this girl, you sort of picture in your head, and you think, okay. And also I think his point about being the last American girl is like, she was like conspiracy theories, but like not in the negative sense. She's worried about this and this and this. She's kind of very open to, I don't know. You could say woke, even though that word's kind of been dumbed down quite a lot. And yeah, I like the guitar, the instrumentation towards the end really gets really good as well, and it's good. Murder City now. City. Catchy as hell. Also the palm muting, I like it. Chug. City. Fantastic chorus, man. One of the best choruses I've heard from Green Day. Murder City. Oh, love it. A bit of minor pentatonic there. To be honest, I think because Green Day are a huge band. I mean, especially in America, and I do know they're very big in the United Kingdom. But when you talk about greatest rock bands, of the last 20 years, 30 years, like personally, I would never have thought to say Green Day. They kind of have the reputation of being pop punk or punky, and I don't know. I'd never think to put them, for me, like they're almost like, because I'm a massive Arctic Monkeys fan, and I love the Arctic Monkeys, but like this isn't even one of Green Day's more famous albums. It is, but it's not even their most. They have more famous albums than this one, and yet this is still amazing. Whereas, the Arctic Monkeys, when you go outside of their first album, or some, the famous ones, there's some filler in there. Whereas Green Day so far have really impressed me, where they just, especially this album right there, An American Idiot, and Dookie as well. It's like every song's good, you know. And even the songs that aren't necessarily going to be hits or aren't necessarily going to be repeat on your playlist, they're like, they got enough about them. He knows when to and when not to put a song on an album, which I like. But I can see that Billy Joe wrote the anthems for a generation of Americans, together with Linkin Park. Hell yeah. Which, by the way, Linkin Park reaction coming soon. Yeah. Viva la Gloria 2, I guess. With a little girl. A silent movie or something.
Little girl, why are you crying? Inside your restless soul, your heart is dying.
It's like Spanish vibe, isn't it?
Little one, all love and razor blades, your blood is surging. Run away from the river to the street and find your
Again, European, I love it. Old school European vibe. Continental, Mediterranean, melodic. Yeah.
no place to go. Little girl,
Sounds like a theme song for some TV show or something. Da 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 da. The thing that just struck me, and for the first time in the album reaction, I'm actually pausing a song and not just listening to it the whole way through, is this song's almost like a nursery rhyme in a sense, and the idea that you're telling a little girl, Gloria, you know, there's this, you know, you live in a world of war and a world of death and destruction. However, and putting that into a sort of happy-go-lucky folk song, I mean, the sort of the contrast between the idea of putting all these, saying, oh, you know, this is awful and awful people die and, you know, it's death and blood and everything, but we're gonna have this nice little military folk song to make it sound all happy. And it's like, I think he's basically trying to homage that with this song, saying we make these military folk songs sound all happy, and you know, it's like, I mean, what else is there but death and destruction, I guess. Oh, that guitar. It's interesting, like that song, you know, isn't necessarily one of the better songs in the album or anything, but like, I feel like when Billy Joe Armstrong is using these more European sounds, these more continental sounds, it's a purpose choice because of the wars of the 20th century that happened in France, you know, World War II, World War One. They happened in France. Even though England were heavily involved, Britain were involved, and America, it was fought in those places. So when you hear French, you know, Italian melodies, you think, or especially French, you think, you know, World War II. Restless Heart Syndrome. God. Always loved strings in the song.
I've got a really bad disease.
So ballady.
It's got me begging on my hands and knees. So take me to emergency, 'cause something seems to be missing.
Full orchestra in this one. It sounds like a James Bond song or something, actually. Woo! Yeah, and again, I'm not skipping this track either. Oh my god. And a bit of wah. Wah. Da 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 da. This song's got everything in it. like the thing is, I'm not like just because you know when you react to music, it's like, you know, I've been there before, and if you shit on the song, people don't like it, and you get very many mean comments. So I won't lie, when I react to songs, I try and not I'm not just gonna say this sucks necessarily. Well, I mean, I would if it actually sucks, but like, I don't happen to like all these songs. They're really good. They're just really good. Like, that's a really good song. It's a ballad, you know, that he took things out. He had an orchestra in the back, and he also had a section with a wah. I mean, he's actually, I think he's an underrated guitar player, because people think guitar player, they think, okay, the best guitar players, they just do and everything. But like, the great guitar player knows when to add certain sections, when to add a chorus, when to add like chords, when to add a little rhythm line, when to add a little lead line, when to add these melodies in the back, and how to lay the guitar with the rest of the music. That's also a good guitar player, and he's a great guitar player, because he knows, he adds these sounds and takes them away and puts solos in and has breaks and breakdowns, and it's fantastic. I mean, that song evolved and was like a freaking Pokemon. It went from Charmander to Charizard. Well, he's building this, isn't he? Yep. The chorus might be a bit Green Day by the numbers, but it's so interesting, this song. Da 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 da. I love that this whole verse section is insane. Handgrenades. Oh, that's shout. Like, seriously, like, again, good song. Like, seriously, really good song. Like, there's no skipping. You can't skip that either, because it's punky as fuck. Like, those verses are so interesting. They're so cool to listen to. Makes you want to move, you know. Oh, fucking around. That's fun. That's a great rock. I mean, that's what I love rock music. So when I hear a good rock song, I'm not gonna not say it's good, because it is good. It's clearly good. You know, if I wrote that, I'd be like, oh, that's fucking great. Be famous. It's funny because, like, I thought this album wouldn't be as good, because, you know, because 21 Guns is the only really famous song on this album, and from an outsider's perspective, you know, you thought, okay, here's 18 songs I've never heard of. You assume, you know, it's not as famous as American Idiot, or you know, or maybe even Dookie. So you're thinking, okay, this would be good, but not that good. And it's like, no, it's been fantastic the whole way through. You could say this is better than American Idiot. You could make that claim, and maybe I will. Maybe give me a year of listening to these two albums. Yeah, I don't know, because they both do really good things well. They both do really good things well. The Static Age.
Can you hear the sound of the static noise blasting down the stereo? Cater to the class and the paranoid. Music to my nervous system. Action, visions of blasphemy. War abuse, oh, screaming at you. I can't see a thing in the video. I can't hear the sound on the radio. Squeezing at your state of mind.
I love this build though. It's a bit too pop punk, a bit too accessible maybe, I don't know. funny because like that's my least favorite song on the album, but like that's not like it's not bad because it sounds like an album track. It sounds like one of those songs that they're album tracks. That's the first album track they've made, really, kind of. There are some others maybe, but like every other song kind of, I think most of those songs, or the first like 10 could have been a single if they wanted to. Maybe not some of the more, the ones that sounded a bit different melodically, they couldn't be singles because they're not hits, they're not pop, but like that song's kind of Green Day by the numbers maybe, but I mean, that being said, it's still good though. Like it really, towards the end, the structure of the song and the instruments and everything and the ending really made it interesting. It's just, for me, like that kind of really pop punk sound and the melodies he used in that song kind of turned me off a bit. But he did get me back in, and that's the only song I've had any sort of criticism for in the entire project, which is kind of insane because, even on American Idiot, there were songs that were a bit like, kind of... There was one song on American Idiot I was kind of like, this is alright. This is the first song that's alright. Okay, 20, I know 21 Guns. This is a good... obviously this is a good song. This is famous for a reason. It's very good, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I heard 21 Guns coming in, so yeah. It's the most popular song on this album by miles, but it's not the best song. Like, it isn't. This isn't the best song on the album, which is good. When you have cuts that are better than the big singles, that means you've got some real substance. I mean, if I look up, like, I'm trying to remember what these songs sounded like, but, like, there were songs that were much more interesting to me. It's a great song, but it's, it doesn't, like, stand above the album. Like, sometimes you have the famous song that sticks out of the album like a sore thumb. People just listen to that one song and not bother to listen to anything else, but like, that's not really the case, I don't think. Alright, we've got 2 more songs left. American Eulogy, Mass Hysteria / Modern World. Is this going to be long, or...? Okay, so just keep repeating from the end. Okay. Okay. Again, he's bringing back the great melodies. Thankfully, thank God. The chorus doesn't necessarily nothing amazing, but the verse melody is so amazing. Okay, wow. What is this? God. Well, okay, so that was the penultimate song of the project, and yeah, 3 different parts. You had the little call back to the song from the beginning, Mass Hysteria and Modern World. It's like both those songs were, yeah, they're good. They were good, because I'll be honest, at the start I was like, I'm thinking, are they going to be like Static Age again and be a bit more pop punk by the numbers? But there was so much interesting sounds and drums and guitar within the verses that it grabs you in so well, you know. And to be fair, I don't want to live in the modern world. It's a hell of a message for a chorus, and it's not just they're singing about such big topics and such interesting themes that I think they deserve to be cut a bit of slack if not every single chorus and verse sounds amazing and unique, because it's not going to. Because, you know, they use the same instruments, the same singer, the same all this, so it's going to start to sound formulaic to a degree. So, but that's seeing it. I've listened to 17 songs to this album, and you know, I was only left wanting more, like, you know, within a few moments of almost 2 hours of listening, an hour and a half of listening. So what does that say? That means they've packed so much quality within this. Alright, let me finish it. See the Light, last song. Yeah, it sounds like The Who or something.
Well, I crossed a river, fell into the sea, where the non-believers go beyond belief. Then I scratched the surface in the mouth of a hurricane, and I set a fire just to see the flame. Well, I just wanna see the lights, and
See the Light. See the Light, obviously a reference to dying and seeing the light. It's a soldier who fought, who died, who had his last moments of fear before death. He had the you know, a lot of songs in there about the war itself. Then his death. He gets the 21 gun salute. He gets a eulogy. Then he sees the light, and that's the end. It's about war. It's about soldier, but it's phenomenal because Billy Joe Armstrong set such a high bar for his songwriting that when you hear a song like Static Age, where it's only alright, it sticks out so much, which is this is actually a very big compliment, because it means throughout the album, I'm not listening. I don't want to like it. I'm just listening to it to see if I like it. I'm not like wanting to like it or anything. I have no invested interest in liking it. I'm just seeing. I am like just passively listening and seeing what I conclude about the songs, you know. But so many of those songs are so good that it's a fantastic album. Really good. One of the better rock albums I've heard. Fantastic. So many of those songs were not only were they good, they're so different, and he uses. I love the song. I love when they sort of they're for like a ballady song with piano and orchestra in there. I love the variety within the album. You know, it's, you know, there's only a few moments of pop punk mediocrity in there. It comes and it'd be 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there, but throughout the hour and a half I listened to this, I've been thoroughly entertained through almost all of it. So I don't do scores out of 10, but you know, it would be good. It would be high, you know. It's a fantastic album. Thanks for suggesting it, guys. And if you have any other suggestions, put it down in the comments. What other Green Day albums you want me to react to? But it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.